Hi, my name is Ruben Atropian. I'm the founder at Berlioz. Today, I'm going to run a live application delivery demo in 5 minutes. The links for the sample application are in the video description below. First, I will show you the outline of the application, then deploy it to my local workstation, and as the last step, we'll deploy it to the Amazon Web Services. I should be able to squeeze this into 5 minutes. Without further ado, let's get started. Let's check out the architecture diagram first. This command generates the following diagram, and it represents a publicly accessible web service which is behind the load balancer, and the web service communicates with the inventory service to populate the list of drugs available in the pharmacy, and the drugs are stored in the AWS DynamoDB database. So when the patient comes in and tries to drop off the prescription, the request goes to the clerk service from the web service, and the corresponding job is added to the Kinesis message queue. The pharmacist service will take the job from the message queue to process the drug and will notify the patient using the dashboard service. This diagram was generated from Berlioz files, and for example, this Berlioz file, it describes the web service, which exposes the HTTP endpoint, which is behind the load balancer. And this web service, it consumes the inventory service. So if we look to the inventory service declaration, it's pretty similar to the one for the web service, except it consumes a database. And the database is a AWS DynamoDB database with a particular hash key. It is time to run the application. Before doing so, I'll just show that there are no Docker containers running. To run the application, I'll just use one single command, Berlioz local build run. This command will identify and build all Docker images within your project. It will configure the cloud resources like databases and message queues, and it will launch your services. The application is now up and running, and we can access it using the following URL. This is the front page of the application. Let's populate the inventory first. Now that we have the list of medications populated in the inventory, we can drop off the prescription. If I refresh the page, we should see that prescription got filled in within a second. One of the very important features of Berlioz is to provide distributed tracing out of the box. The screen in front of you shows the loading of the main page. You can clearly see that the web service makes a call to the inventory service, which also calls the DynamoDB table to scan the list of items. The web service also calls the dashboard service, which also calls another DynamoDB table to scan another list of items. We can inject a fault to the system by trying to insert an empty drug name. This will not only show how the traces would look like, but also the capabilities of the retry engine. The following trace shows 3 failed attempts to insert items into the database that are 500 milliseconds and 1 second apart, and the error that shows the actual error message. Now it's the time to run the same application in the Amazon cloud. To achieve that, there are just 2 commands. First of all, we will need to call Berlioz push, which would build the images and upload them to the Amazon cloud repository. The second command would be Berlioz run. I will specify the deployment as production, cluster pharmacy, and the region US East 1. The command would show the summary of changes, including the state and version changes. Berlioz status command will show the progress of the deployment, and you can clearly see that the pharmacy cluster is in process. 3 minutes later, we can again use the Berlioz status command to check the progress. Right now it already shows as completed, so we can use Berlioz endpoints, deployment production to get the web service endpoint as well as the Zipkin endpoint addresses. Now we got the same application as well as the Zipkin tracing engine running in the cloud. This is what I planned for this video. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. My contact details will be in the video description below.